I wanted to ask you, let's get into the meat and potatoes, the main reason that they watching this video.
Okay.
What got you into the jewelry industry?
Okay. So before I got to really selling shoes, I was moving watches and watch sets that I get from New York and everything. So I took a trip to New York one time and I seen all the merchandise sitting out on the sidewalk. I'm like, man, I need to,
Welcome to the Flip to Hold podcast, where we talk everything from selling socks, stocks, and blocks. And today we're about to talk about how to get into the jewelry business. Look, I'm Dante, Mr. Flip to Hold. And what you might want to do is stick around to the end of this video because you don't want to miss none of this knowledge. Now, I got a special guest coming in today who's been in the business for some years and he know what he's talking about. I mean, he done did all type of things with celebrities and people that you wish that you could meet. But the main thing about this guy is we go back like kickstands. We go back like two seats in the Cadillac. This my brother from another mother. He do it the best, like none other. My boy, James Mack. What's up, my boy?
Yeah. What's going on? I'm so happy to be on the Flip the Whole podcast. What's going on, Mr. Flip?
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. It's so good to have you. It's an honor, man. You actually my first guest outside of my
Okay.
wife, man. So it's definitely an honor to have you, man.
Yeah. I'm so happy to be here. And like you said, yeah, we go way back to the beginning of parts of the beginning of my career in business, and I'm
Yes,
sure
sir.
some of the beginning of your career in business. So, it's some legacy here. So we're gonna get to it. I've seen you growing business, you've seen me growing business. So we got a lot to talk about tonight.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And y'all, before we get too far and deep into this, and before we get to giving y'all all of these gems and juice and stuff that you need in order to grow your new business, I need you to like, share, subscribe, do all of the fun stuff that they need you to do on YouTube because we really want to grow this thing and we want to teach as many people as we can teach in this business, man. But we need you the same way you need us so we can grow together. Look, you might want to go get you a pen and pad. You might want to get your favorite snack and put your phone on do not disturb because my guy about to give it to y'all, man. Look, James, let me know what's going on, man, because we like I said, we go back all the way back from forever, man, when you had a hairline.
Yeah, that's for sure. I did have some hair back then, but
Yes, sir.
the stresses of the world and trying to listen, business will make your hair, especially if you got weak hair genes, business will make your hair
Look
fall
at
out.
me.
So yeah, you know what I mean? So, if you got good hair, then you blessed. But if you on the verge, if you get into business, you might as well know your hair about to fall out.
Absolutely, absolutely, man. And I would like to too, man. If it wasn't for this brother, man, we wouldn't even be, or y'all wouldn't have me on this podcast or doing what
Wow.
I do right now, man. No, it's true because, you know, uh, he presented the shoe business. That's when we was back then selling the Jordans and coming
Yeah.
out the trunk with everything. We even go. Our history is before that, but
Yeah.
that right there got us to where we are today to be able to even share some of this knowledge with the people, man. And man, I mean, going back where we had, remember with the Beast, where we got the big old box truck
Yeah.
that had
Yeah.
like, I think the miles on it was 99999
Yeah.
or
Those a
something like
million
that.
miles on that joint. Yeah.
But we made it work, man. We paid for that truck a million
Yeah.
times, man.
Yeah, and that was all part of, a real crucial business decision. Who would have thought that we would have started from, out the trunks of our cars, finding one spot to sit in
Yep.
every single day like it was a store, and then gradually moving that up to a box truck, a
Yep.
raggedy box truck at that, but it was still running, a box truck, raising it, turning that into a storefront, and then taking that box truck and turning that all the way into an actual store. Well,
Yes,
actually, we
sir.
had the store before we had the box truck, but that was another, that was another leap in business where we were steady growing and steady moving and grooving. and that was in the time frame of 2005 to 2008. So it was a beautiful transition, and I'm so proud of the legacy and things that we was doing.
Yeah, man. And as you say that, and just you're taking me down memory lane, man. And coming out the trunk, and people, once we got to the store level, and people would see that and think that it just came overnight. Even though you had a store before I even got into business because you brought me in it, but people would think that whole process, it took a little while to get up there. I mean, we moved fast because we obviously was in the game at the right time, and or you brought me in at the right time, but it absolutely worked for the better, man. But it's just people don't understand that a business take time to build up. You have to want it, man. You really have to want it, man. So what's your thoughts on that?
You definitely got to have a passion for whatever type of business that you're doing. A lot of people, these days, they'll see something somebody else doing, cryptocurrency or healthcare or
Mm-hmm.
daycares or whatever the case may be. Restaurants. Whatever the case may be, and they'll want to jump into that because they think that that is a business that's going to make them some quick money. But if you don't have a passion for that, barbers, if you don't have a passion for that, hairstylists, tattoo artists, all these different things, consultants,
Mm.
it's gonna get old real fast. You know what I mean? And a lot of things that I've tried to stick to exactly what I was doing because yeah, I dibbled and dabbled at this, try to sell cars, try to do this on the side, did this on the side, and none of it I really had no real passion for on the side businesses. I just wanted to, I wanted to make some money. You see what I'm saying?
Yep. Yep. Yeah, and I already know, man. That's most people's situation, and you have to know the difference. You have to know the difference in is this just to make some money, or is this something that you really trying to build up and have and build a legacy on, and something that you can have forever. And a lot of people don't know how to separate the two, especially when you living in nowadays where you could just go on Instagram and they could boost you up to think that you could do anything, which you can, but you just can't skip the steps. You want to have a passion for it, man. Let the passion be the foundation to what you trying to do.
And I want to piggyback on that when you said, you can do anything. I want to say, no, you can't do anything. And the reason why I'm saying that is because, and that's going back to the passion thing. If you don't have a real understanding and a real love for what you're doing and what you're trying to do, you're not gonna do it effectively. You know what I
That
mean?
is true.
I talk to young people right now, and I'm like, you need to be a doctor. You need to try to go be a lawyer. You need to try to go be a scientist. And the first thing they tell me is they don't have time for all that. The first thing they tell me that's gonna take too long. But you
Yep.
want to be a millionaire. You want to get this money though, but you want to do something that's going to take you a year and a half certificate, or you want to do something that takes 6 months where you can get a little certification. How much you
No, they
think
want
that's going
something
to,
that'll do it right now.
yeah, how much you think that's going to earn you?
Hmm.
So I always try to, and I think I had a little sense on a lot of things that I was seeing people doing. I'm like, well, I don't even want to even attempt to do that. You know what I mean? Because I know that's not me. I know I'm not no tattoo artist. That's not really my thing. I know I'm not this. Even with barbering, I was a barber for a long time, but I had
Yep.
to let that go too because even though I got a passion for art, I wasn't making enough money. So I had a passion for art, but I didn't really have a passion for the business of barbering and just standing around. And then it started affecting my health too. And I'm like, man, my neck starting to get arthritis and
Man, look,
my
it's so crazy you mentioned that. Like this right here, my tattoo Lockwise. You already know what that is. A lot of
yeah.
people don't, but you could probably still Google it. And me and my wife had that shop for over 10 years, man. And we felt the same way. Now the money was good. It was great. Like, it was just standing in one spot. And after a while, it beat you up, and people wouldn't even think that. when you
Yeah,
just thinking about a barber or whatever.
right.
But you know, me and you the same, man. Like I done did it all too, like selling
Yeah.
cars, everything, man. But honestly, I'm glad you found your passion. My passion right now is real estate, man. I just love that stuff. But
Yeah.
the main reason that we on here, because I brought me some bling bling, man. Look, I brought
Yeah.
me some bling
Big,
bling. Now,
big boy.
y'all, look,
Big boy
don't
stuff.
kill me in the comments because this is a Bucks replica, man. This is not bling
Right.
bling, but I had to bring it on because this is what my man do. And I wanted to ask you. Let's get into the meat and potatoes. The main reason that they watching this video.
Get some of this. So one thing that really caught my eye, and this is we talk about 2004. One thing that really caught my eye was these watch sets that cost $10. So they have one watch in there with two bands and maybe a different color bezel. So I'm like,
Mm,
man, $10 for all of that. So I started loading up on that. So I take those and bring those back to the Midwest and sell those for $35. So I just move them like that. Sometimes $40, depending on the person.
mm,
So I would just move, hundreds of them. They were
mm.
selling like hotcakes, hundreds, big face watches,
And this was
watches.
before the shoes.
Yes, yes.
Wow. Okay.
Yep. So I would be outside the gas stations and everything, moving them on my trunk, and I started buying boxes. Then I get, UPS drop me off shipments, boxes of these watches and everything. And I would just be moving these watches, right? So that was the first introduction into the jewelry business. That's why I tell everybody, start with something simple. You know what I mean? Start with, the fake jewelry or whatever the case may be. Or if you don't want to sell the real jewelry, start with one little piece, invest in a good piece or a good chain, sell that, then go to the next one. So I say all that to say, when we start the next business, when I started getting into the shoe business, it was like, moving up from one piece at a time. One shoe led to two shoes led to four
Yep.
shoes led to eight shoes led to a case led to two cases. It's all taking your time and stacking your money. I never was spending nothing on nothing stupid. I was always putting money back into the business like I'm doing now. That's always been my motto. Put the money back into the business. Before I spend something, I'm going to invest it. You see what I'm saying?
Hold on. Because I remember when we was doing the shoes back in the days, and I don't want to get off subject. I know we talking about the jewelry, but this is, I just got to, give you your flowers while you're here. I remember we was going to go re-up and getting some more shoes. I don't remember the time because we did it hundreds of times, but this one time you're like, man, spend that money, man. What you doing, man?
Yeah.
And I had a few bands, like, you know what I mean? I'm like, man, I'm not gonna spend all my money on these shoes. And like, and that rewind in my mind so many times, man. Like now I'm all in on everything. I will go broke trying to build a business, man. Like,
Yeah.
it's the right business because and people don't take that the wrong way. I mean, I know what I'm doing, I love what I'm doing, and
Right.
it's a whole different world. But yeah, I remember you were saying that, man. But that was just picking back on what you were saying. But continue, please.
Yeah, so that's been a motto, from all the different businesses I've been in and that's the motto one of the mottos I want to give to people today, and one thing I love about Dame Dash is that brother says the same thing. You have to stay broke and put your money into the business because the business will take care of your bills,
Yep.
potentially and hopefully the business will take care of your bills, the business will take care of the things you want, and you can spend out of your profit a little bit, but you want to keep investing. So I never spend nothing unless I put the money back into the business first, and then the first monies that I make, and I've been like this through the last 15 years of business, almost 20 years of business, I'll spend. So prior to that, um, you know, I started to, went through that process, and then, long story short, we got into the recession. I had to take off from the Midwest because it was just things was crumbling. And in business, sometimes things crumble.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes
Mm-hmm.
things crumble in business.
Yes.
And you don't know what
Almost
to do.
guaranteed.
Nothing's guaranteed. You don't know when things are gonna take a turn. And that's what I know now in life is that nothing is promised. when you think something is going to go one way, man, it may go a totally different way. So you can't really plan on nothing. There's really no promises in business, right? No guarantees, right? So when the real recession came in 2008, it was no guarantees. You know, I had to take off from the Midwest, and to save myself, because it's a long story, how things, saying transpire. We ain't gonna get into that, but
Absolutely.
when I took off, it allowed me to really clear my mind and refocus, and a long story short, I got to Utah, Salt Lake City, Utah. Well, first I went to Portland, started the team club. That didn't really work because I was dabbling with promoting and trying to throw parties when we were selling shoes, but I couldn't really get no traction. I remember throwing a party, it didn't nobody show up. It was empty, So, and then out there, I found some success with that, but, things didn't really work out. Once again, things took a turn, and, I got the club shut down and everything. So I took off, went to Salt Lake City, Utah. Long story short, I opened a barbershop. That got to going good. One thing I could say is, God blessed me with the skill of cutting hair. Even though I got a little education, but He always blessed me with a skill of cutting hair. So I always had a bag
Life
up.
skill. I call that a life skill. You can
You know what I
always
mean?
do it.
I always had a bag up. So anytime things would kind of get crazy and kind of crumble, well, I know I always can go back to the barbershop and make some money. And even though I had a little education, I graduated from school, all that, I never really was the person that really sought to go out and try to find a job, mainly because where we're from in the Midwest, it was a lot of segregation, a lot of discrimination. So you never really get hired at no good job anyway. You see what I'm saying? So it'll leave you at a point to where, you really just, your mind changed. So it's like, okay, I'm not even looking for no job, especially no garbage factory job and nothing like that. I might as well just, work this thing out on my own. So having the business skills that I acquired, going back into the barbershop, I ended up opening my own barbershop in Salt Lake City, having 3 barbers, and then taking trips to California. I ended up spotting some fake jewelry. Now, I had seen fake jewelry before, and it just was, it just was terrible looking. I'm like, how could you wear that? We used to roast our dudes for wearing that, like, man, take that off. But this jewelry was looking real. This jewelry was like a whole nother level. Like, I feel like, around 2009, 2010, the fake jewelry just really did. I don't know what the Chinese people doing over there or whatever, but they started making some jewelry that was looking crazy. So at that point, I jumped on that bandwagon. I started selling jewelry out of the barbershop. Now, when I started doing that, okay, that took a $20 haircut to a $100 haircut, right? Because somebody get the $20 haircut, but then buy the $70 necklace. You feel what I'm saying? Or the $80 necklace, or the $50 watch, or the $60 ring. You feel what I'm saying? And it just started taking off from there. So then I took that business model and I put it inside of a mall, Valley Fair Mall, for anybody that know about Salt Lake City, Utah. And man, when I'm talking about booming, I was getting it. So, I took it from there, man, and was booming. And then, out of the blue, nothing goes as planned. Everything has twists and turns, right?
Yep.
So one day, out the blue, my mom just called me and tell me that she's in the hospital and she got cancer and they're about to start chemotherapy the next day. So it was like, now I'm forced with a decision. Once again, do I stay keeping my barbershop and my jewelry store booming and let my mom just die? Or do I say, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and go, back to the Midwest, set with her. And then if she died, she died, but at least I'm there. But then she still ended up living through that. And I ended up being broke. I ended up losing everything over that because I was trying to manage the barbershop remotely. I had shut the mall down, trying to manage the barbershop remotely. And that thing kind of fell apart because You know, it's one thing to, you know, be there, but it's another thing to be all the way on the other side of the country asking for your money, making sure people sell your
Yep.
jewelry and get your money to
Yep.
you. And you know, the team had kind of crumbled. Found out some dudes was doing some things in my barbershop that wasn't cool. You know, they was
So
trying to get.
so you ended up keeping the shop open and was still trying to basically micromanage it from the Midwest, and the people that you had in the shop just started doing what they wanted to do.
Yeah, man. I was, you know, every day I was at the hospital with moms going through 4 rounds of chemotherapy, which took 8 months. So I say the
Mm.
first 2 months that I was there, um, or the first 3 months, let's say the first 3 months I was there, I was just going back and forth, flying back and forth from the Midwest back to what's the name, getting money, you know, cutting a little hair over like a week period, getting my money, everything. And then that kind of dwindled down because mom started getting sicker and sicker. So that dwindled down to me going every month. Then next thing you know, I can't go at all because I'm here at the hospital and I
Mm.
find out dudes selling drugs out my shop and
Oh
everything.
man.
So before my name became just straight tarnished, I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna shut it down. So I just had my people lock the door, shut it down, and then you know it got to a point to where people weren't really trying to pay me my money, like because they knew I really couldn't get out there the way
They
I
knew your
needed to.
situation. They was trying to take advantage of the
Yeah, they was
situation.
trying to stiff me, and I'm like, okay,
Mhm.
you know, when I come out there, we're gonna see what's good, you know. But you know, right now, you know, I'm sitting here with somebody that been, you know, almost about to die. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
And mom's about to die, so it's like, you know, okay, boom. So what I can say about that is, what's nice come twice. You feel me? So she got herself together. You know, I still got it like a briefcase full of jewelry, you know, but that's all I got. There's a
Mm.
briefcase full of jewelry in my car. You feel me? And I'm like, you know what? Let me go ahead and take off. I had a friend in North Carolina. You know, she was like, you know what? You know, it's some little jobs down here. You know, why don't you come on down here and sleep on my couch? You know, and get you about 30 days in, and let's see what it do. So I did just that. You know, our mom's got better. She got well. When she was stable and able to handle everything on her own, then I took my little briefcase, put in my car. I had probably about 80 bucks. You know, we had about 80 bucks plus a little
Mm.
gas money. Got on the road, went down to Charlotte. I got a little job, man. I thought it was gonna be the one, but I ended up, man, that's a whole nother story. But yeah, so
Hold on,
I
let,
was,
let me stop you real quick because
yeah,
when Moms was sick, and thank God she better,
yeah.
but when Moms was sick and you had your brief case of jewelry, and you said that the young lady called you from North Carolina, why not just stay where you was at and just sell that jewelry and come up right there?
Yeah, right. So because I was so successful and I had 3 stores going, and then you know at a certain amount of time, like all of the stores got broken into kind of at the same time. It was a crazy time period. You remember that time period? So going through all that, and you know knowing that moving around in the streets of the Midwest where we from is somewhat dangerous, and I'm at a level. I was at a level then where I'm like, okay, I really don't have too much now, and I don't want to get into a situation where you know I either kill somebody or get killed. Let me just move around. You know, let me move
That's
around
why I'm
because I
in
was
North
low
Carolina
key.
right
I
now,
Yeah,
man.
low key. Low key. I was embarrassed. You know, low key. I was embarrassed because I just came from making like, you know, upwards of $30,000 to $40,000 a month to nothing. You know, and it didn't
Mm.
take long at all for me to drain through my savings, for me to stop getting money. Like once I turned that light switch off, it was a wrap. You know what I'm saying? So I
Mm.
had, you know, what I'm saying several $1,000s saved up. But you talking about somebody that when I left Salt Lake, I had upwards of $15,000 in bills. So you can just imagine $15,000 times 3 plus trying to live and move around and all that, man. You talking about going through $55,000 like it was butter, like it was nothing.
I know, believe me.
You know what I mean?
Yes,
And so I
sir.
found
Yes, sir.
myself at the end of all that, just trying to maintain myself with no money. Because when no money's coming in, but you still got bills, insurance, lights, gas, all that for my apartments, paying them for breaking early
If you
leases.
know, you know, for real.
You name it, paying people, doing all this type of stuff. I blew through $55,000 in a matter of weeks. You know what I mean? And then I found myself at the end of 8 months, I was on zero, $80. So I'm like, man. So when I got down to Charlotte, North Carolina, it was like back out the trunk. I'm working a little job. I'm sleeping on my homegirl couch, and I'm trying to come back up from nothing. So
Hold
it's
on,
like,
let me stop
okay,
you again.
yeah,
How did that make you feel, man? Like coming from yo, what I'm hearing, your highest level of success.
yeah,
And how did that make you feel to coming from there to
yeah,
going to North Carolina, sleeping on the couch with just a briefcase of jewelry, man? Because I know that mentally is
yeah.
that can break you down, man. That could really like crush you, and you could just kind of give up, and you didn't. So how did that make you feel going through that? And
Yeah.
briefly.
Well, thank God, I started with nothing, from the very, very beginning. So I didn't have to breathe. I didn't have to come back up from nothing a whole lot of times. You know what I mean? So that wasn't the thing.
I love that.
But it did hurt, because my pockets used to be crazy big on numerous occasions. I had to go from the Midwest losing. I mean, we used to count crazy amounts of money, pockets crazy, right? To
Yep.
nothing, then getting it back again to nothing, to counting. I remember at one time down there, man, I was riding around, man, and couldn't even afford some McDonald's, bro. Like I was trying to get $1 hamburger and I didn't even have $1 to get it. And I didn't want to ask my homegirl, so she was still providing a place for me to lay my head. But nah, it was very humbling because, they say company is cool for a day or two, but then it started, you know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
After the third day, but for that situation, it wasn't the third day, but it did kind of start getting a little old for her at least. And for me, I'm like, man, I got to get up out of here. I know I'm better than this. I appreciate everything, but I just kept the faith, man, kept my head low and kept going forward. And the craziest thing happened, man. Like moms end up getting sick again, right? So the cancer came right back, right? So now I got the job, got a little job. I'm making like $1,500 a month. They starving me out. The brokest time I had is when I had a job. You know what I mean? The brokest time that I ever had is when I had a job.
Wow.
You feel what I'm saying?
Gym.
So
That's a gym.
yeah, that's a gym, right? So I'm getting paid every 2 weeks. They starving me out. They giving me like $500, $600 every 2 weeks, right? And they promising us 60,000 a year and all this old crap. And I'm also getting a commission. So my commissions will come, they'll be like 1,700, 1,500, or whatever the case may be. But then they start trying to starve us out and hit us with all these penalties. So now your 2,500 or your 1,500 get down to, they didn't hit you with 2 or 3 penalties and took, 200 here, 300 there. Now your 1,500 or your 1,800 or your 2 G's is down to, 900. 1,200. So I'm like, oh man. So moms end up getting cancer again. So now I'm going back and forth, taking time off, leave, going back up here, sitting with her.
And that's where you're getting the penalties at work.
Right, because when I'm coming back, I'm off course. I don't know what the newest verbiage is, plus I'm at the bottom of the leaderboard. So it's like you gotta, in order to keep your job, and I never felt comfortable there because in order to, and this is called Red Ventures, all right? And I got a vendetta out, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm salty how I got dead. It's like, so I come back, I'm at the bottom of the leaderboard. You get too low on the leaderboard, you automatically fired. You automatically fired. They give you a PIP, a performance improvement plan. And if you can't get your numbers up in a week, you out of there. So every time I come back from sitting a week with her up there, while she in the hospital for another whole like 6 months straight, no, I say about 3 months straight, I'm going back and forth. You know, they like, your attendance suck, all this. I'm getting on the phone, giving them the phone, letting them talk to the doctor like she only got so-and-so days left. Like, this is
They
winding
didn't
down.
give a
They
damn.
hearing this,
They don't
right?
give a damn.
They don't care, brother. It's like they hear that, oh, okay, all right. Well, you got 2 weeks. You need to, hurry up and go. I was like, wow, okay, cool. So it got to the point to where now I'm broke, rent due. I'm coming back and forth. So I remember one time, like, I'm in a situation where I get back, they hit me with another PI, another PIP, performance improvement plan, and they're like, yeah, this is the last time. If you can't get your numbers up in a week, we're gonna have to let you go. Well, I'm getting a call like, yeah, mom's got probably like a month left, and it's a wrap. She calling me in the middle while I'm trying to work, like, just moaning on the phone. I'm like, I'm going through it. You hear what I'm saying? And then I
Man,
got other family members that I done moved. My brother, I done moved him with me. So now I'm in North Carolina facing eviction. You know what I mean? Mom's dying. My money is crazy low. I'm in debt, rent due. Like, I'm going through it. So I got my little jewelry. I'm selling that, little here, little there. She get back together. They fire me. Boom, you fired. You fired. And that day changed my life. You know what I'm saying? Because sitting in that office in front of those people that know my mom was dying at the time, and them looking at me in my face like, yeah. And then on top of that, my supervisor, who was a traitor and a backstabber, he comes in the office. We all have them sitting around at the table, and they explaining to me why they getting ready to fire me. And
they
he's like, yeah,
explaining to you why they finna get ready to fire you,
yeah,
and they know your
yeah.
situation.
Oh, you're not cooperative. You got a bad attitude. You come to work and your vibe is off. I'm like, do y'all not understand my mom's is on her deathbed? Yes, but that don't have anything to do with your numbers. You're not, being a good corporate citizen. This type of verbiage they
That's what they
use.
call it, corporate citizen.
You're not being a good corporate
Oh,
citizen. You know what I mean? And we just feel like now is the time to let you go. But we hope you be okay, and we hope things are all right. And we look forward to you in the future having a great
they say
life.
we need numbers. We
You know what I'm
need
saying?
producers. We ain't got time for none of that old life stuff. We want
Yeah,
some
but it's the
producers. That's it.
it's the agony of them knowing they keeping their job, knowing they doing all right, but then they ended off with the, yeah, but it was great working with you, and thanks a lot, and we hope that you have a great day. And it's like, man, I can just really get up and slap one of y'all right now for real. You know what I mean? Because it's crazy how y'all play me, but what comes around goes around. You know what I mean? Because where's the compassion? Where's the love? You know what's going on. I didn't let y'all talk to the doctors. You didn't talk to the doctors.
Yep.
I didn't let my supervisor talk to the doctors and try to, understand why I'm still
Hey,
doing my
I can
job.
see
But
that. I can see that's coming back to you. That whole feeling.
man, it was crazy because it's like I'm doing my job. I'm trying my best to be as jolly as possible. But come on now, have some compassion. Like, I ain't supposed to be jumping around and, yeah, I made a sale. Like, you know what I mean? I'm going through something at the time, right?
Right.
So anyway, they end up firing me. I'm facing eviction. Me and my brother there, we about to get put out the apartment. By God's grace, man, I get some help from somewhere. A lady friend, she come through, help me out, to keep the apartment and everything. And I had just met her, I had just met her. And, I was going through it, and she was like, what's wrong? And I told her the truth, you know what I mean? Because I wasn't trying to front. I'm like, this is what I'm going through. And she hit me, she let me see a couple stacks so I could pay for the apartment, bro. So we can, because I was getting ready to take me and my brother and go find a hotel room. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, and it was crazy because we was asking for help on this one place, and they was stalling us out. She like, well, when you get evicted, bring us the eviction notice, and then we'll see what we can do. So now I'm waiting all the way until like the 15th, rent due on the 5th. 15th, you out of there. They telling me wait until the last minute. I bring the eviction down there, brother. And the lady looked at me and it's like, well, we don't think we can help you because you look like you can do it.
Whoa.
That was her exact word, bro. She looked me in my face and was like, you look like you can do it.
Whoa.
The rent is due today. Like it just passed. Like they talking about putting us out tomorrow. You feel what I'm saying? Like that's not a joke, you know. But I've always kept myself up, even under stress. I never looked like a bum. I never looked messed up. You know, just because I'm going through something don't mean I gotta look like I'm going through it, right? And that's a line for I want everybody. Just because you're going through something, don't you ain't gotta look like you're going through it.
For
Still
real.
keep yourself up, right?
For real.
So after that point, I was like, man, this is crazy. You talking about somebody that, you know, don't know what the next move is, looking at my brother, he looking at me, we trying to figure it out. Okay, you know, Lord came through, helped me out. That sister helped me out to keep the apartment. Boom. So the next day, I'm like, I'm going around the city trying to figure it out. We got this spot called the Epicenter in Charlotte, right? So I go down to the Epicenter, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I see this spot, you know, and I'm like, man, you know, they got kiosks in the middle of this outdoor mall area, downtown Charlotte. And I see it and I'm like, man, they got a little kiosk right there, say, you know, for a lease. I see a dude selling sunglasses and it's two more that's empty. So I called a number. The lady like, yeah, well, come on to the appointment and let's check out what you got. Luckily, I still got a gang of jewelry from my jewelry store. So I, you know what I'm saying, take a couple pieces short what I'm gonna be selling. She tell me, you know, the numbers and everything. I'm like, man, I don't really got it right now, but I go sell some stuff, you know, liquidate some stuff, take some stuff to the pawn shop, get the money up. I get the money up, take it down there. You know, I already got experience. I already got, you know, all this different, my resume looking crazy, you know, from my experience. So that's cool. So they give me a shot. She like, okay, you got it. You know what I mean? Boom. You know, Chris Bremner, you know, despite all the other people in the office that didn't like the program, that didn't want to see me get in there because I was selling hip hop jewelry, but she was, you know, gave me a shot. So, man, we started the first day I opened that jewelry store. I made the rent the first day. You know, I sold out of all my stuff. I didn't sell out of everything, but I sold, you know, $1,000 worth of merchandise. You know, the rent to that spot was $1,500 a month. You know, at the time. You know, I sold $1,000 worth of merchandise the first day I opened, July 1st.
So that's when that bell went off, like, okay, this is it. That's it.
Well, I already knew it was it. It just was that was the perfect spot. Like I already, you know, I feel like I got a little knack for like them spots. So I just felt like it was a gift from God because that day I was depressed. And that day, my lady friend was like, well, let's just go walk around downtown Charlotte. I'm like, man, forget it, let's go. So we walking around and then I see that, right? Because I'm asking God, like, what is my next move? I'm gonna go find one of these garbage jobs. In the meantime, though, let me just say this because I don't want to skip over this, very important. In the meantime, so when I paid the rent, first thing I did is went to go look for a job, right? So the next, I was able to, they worked with me actually. So they was like, okay, if you mind, let me go back. Let me go back a little bit, right?
Go back.
Let me go back a little bit. So check this out, right? So I'm trying to get out of my friend's spot, right? Now I'm making a little money. I got about like 1,500 saved up. You know, I'm just working.
All of this, you still living with the friend?
No, I'm going back, right? So rewind, right?
Okay.
So when I get the job and I'm living with my friend, I'm sleeping on her couch, right? This is before my brother came or any of that. I don't have no place. I just got my car, my jewelry, and you know what I'm saying? I'm sleeping on her. I get the job where they working at, you know, they hook me up. The interview process is so long and strenuous or whatever it may be. I get the job, boom. Now my first check like 1,500, you know, plus, you know, my commission was like 15. So I got 1,500 plus a little change, right? So now I'm like, okay, I know I gotta make a move. It's been like 30 days of laying on her couch. Probably just a tad bit longer than that. I'm like, I gotta make a move because it's getting old at this point, right? It's like, man, okay, I'm overstaying my welcome at this point. So boom, I'm putting in applications all over the city. Any little dirty spot I could figure or I could see like, okay, they're gonna let me in there. Denied. You know, because my credit was messed up at that point because I didn't burn through credit cards. I didn't, you know what I mean? Like, you know, it's all type of crazy stuff, insurances, lapse, all type of crazy stuff because I didn't went out of business and then, you know, pretty much lost everything. So boom, I'm like, Lord, what I'm gonna do? Always trusting, always, to this day, I always trusting God. Always have,
Got to.
always will. And he
That is
never let
key.
me down. God never let me down, even when I think it's the end and I don't know how far I can go. Even to this point today, he still make a way, and he can make a way for you. So
Every
however the
time,
case
my
may
man.
be, check this
Every
out. This is a
time.
miracle. So I'm now I go to the fancy area in Charlotte, right? Valentine. It was close to my job. My job was in a corporate park, really nice, beautiful trees, waterfalls, area, all that, right? But I didn't think to look around that area because I know this area is swanky. It costs money, right? So I
Yeah.
go to this one spot. I'm like, man, this my last. I done went to like 4 places. Each place $100 applications. So I done spent like $400 on my 1,500 just filling out applications,
Applications.
right? So I'm like, man, this is crazy. Like, so I go to this last spot, right? I'm like, man, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have to go give me a hotel room or something and do it like that, right? Because I'm finna get up off her couch and get up out of her house. But it's all love though, but I'm just overstowing my welcome at this point.
It's
So
good that you noticed that, because a lot of people would just take it to the end and then blame the other person.
yeah, no, I ain't like that. Like I know when it's starting to get a little stale and it's starting to get a little old, I'm putting and farting in the living room and everybody ain't liking the way it smells. So I'm like, yeah, it's time for me to ride out. You know what I'm
All right.
saying? So so I go to this fancy, nice, beautiful community apartment complex, manicured trees and everything. I'm thinking in my mind, like, man, all right, anyway, me going in here. So I go in there. They like, they boom, fill out the application. Show me a 1 bedroom. It's like 1,100 a month. I got 1,100 in my pocket. Like, dang, right? So I tell them where I work at. They know the spot. They got other people that from the spot that work there. So I'm like, man, she like, how's your credit? And I'm thinking to myself, like, oh man, I'm out of there, right? And I'm like, yeah, it's good. No, it's great. So she like, fill out the application, give it to her. She's like, yeah, we'll call you. We're gonna check it and everything. I'm like, it wasn't like no energy where I knew I was in there. She just was nice. And I'm thinking to myself, like, hey, I ain't, man. So I walk out. Before I get back to that house over there, right, I get a phone call. When I see the number, I'm like, man, they didn't already deny me that quick. Answer the phone. She's like, yeah, so I approved you. When do you want to move in? The
Dang.
whole time, though, I'm thinking like this apartment costs $1,100. I ain't never spent that much on an apartment. Where I'm from, apartments cost like $550.
550, 600.
Salt Lake, I'm spending like $600 on a 2 bedroom, right? This apartment costs $1,100. So I'm like, but I'm like, yeah, okay, I can come tomorrow. She's like, yeah, just bring your deposit. I'm like, how much is it? $200 deposit. And the rent is pro-rented. So when it all equal out, I gotta bring her like $900 to get in the
You still
apartment.
got a couple $100 left over.
I take the $900 over there. I ain't got no furniture. I'm sleeping on the floor. But then I tell my people, like, I found this place. You know what I'm saying? And it was a bittersweet. She was happy for me and everything, but and I sure live at it's crazy, you know what I'm saying? But now I'm like, oh, so right after that, shortly after that, like I want to say, man, I want to almost say like 5 months after that, then I lose the job. Then I get fired. I got my brother there living with me from Utah. You know what I'm saying? But I made it through that. So I say
And
all
that's
that to
what
say,
led you to the situation. Yeah, I get what you said.
yeah. So I say all that to say, I say that right there to say, always trust in God, even when you think that times is getting hard, when you think there's no tomorrow, when you sitting there ready to do whatever, don't do it because it's another brighter day tomorrow. It's a miracle going to happen for you if you just believe, have a mustard seed of faith. Never did I ever give up. When I got to Salt Lake City, Utah, I jumped off the bus. I didn't have nowhere to go. I left my cousin's house in Portland. I was staying with them while I was doing a teen club. Then when that dried up, I was like, man, I got to get out of here too because it just started to get a little old. Just, always keep the faith. So, when I got to Salt Lake City, Utah, and I decided to leave, everybody was like, you don't have no place to stay over there. You know, my cousin was like, why are you living here? You're going to Salt Lake and you don't have nowhere to stay over there. And I'm like, I gotta go. I gotta, you know what I mean? Like
You
the
just
club
felt
is, yeah, the club is over with. You know, I don't really have no real direction. Pockets is thin now. And I done been there for like 6 months and I don't want to keep just laying in here. We was doing good, but now that unfolded. I don't want to just be working no regular job and doing that ain't getting me nowhere. So I gotta go see what's good in Salt Lake City, Utah, in the recession. So I left Portland, Oregon with $85 in my pocket and 3 big duffel bags, all my clothes, all my possessions to my name. Got on that Greyhound bus and rode to Salt Lake City, Utah. Got there in the morning. I didn't have nowhere to go. I went to the homeless shelter that morning. It opened at 7 o'clock. I got to Salt Lake City in like 6 o'clock in the morning. Got to the homeless shelter. They letting out. They letting everybody out. I'm like, man, I got 3 big, it's summertime too, so it's starting to get hot. I got 3 big bags, 3 big duffels, one strapped around me, and I'm holding 2 of them. I go to the homeless shelter like, yeah, I'm trying to see, can I get in or whatever. The lady look at me and she must see something because she's just looking at me. I'm like, what's going on, ma'am? She like, young man, you don't belong here. I want you to take this number, right? So I'm fully prepared to stay in the homeless shelter and so I can get it going, right? So she writes the little name down and writes the number down. She slides to me, call that number, they'll help you. So I go outside, dial the number. Pastor Rob, right? I call, hello? I'm like, yeah, is this Pastor Rob? Yeah, it is. I'm like, hey, Pastor Rob, I just talked to somebody at the homeless shelter. I just got here from Portland, Oregon. You know, I really don't have nowhere to go, but I'm gonna be finding a job real soon. Can you help me out? He like, yeah, where are you now? I'm like, I'm at the homeless shelter. He like, come to this address. So I take my big bags, everything. Look, it's crazy. So I'm standing on the bus stop. The bus come. I'm getting ready to catch it over here to this to the address. The bus driver stop, look at me, and pull off. The bus driver stops, look through the window, look at me, and pull off. I'm like, wow, okay, what's going on here? Like, this is crazy, right?
Can't win.
I'm sweating at this point. I'm pouring sweat. It's about like, it's hot. It's summertime. It's about 90 degrees at this point, 80 some degrees. The next one pull up. I get on there, get to Pastor Rob's house, man. Pastor Rob, old white guy, man, with a house with 11 or 12 people living in the house and 11 to 12 dogs in the house. Inside the house. 11 to 12 dogs inside the house. This is prime information. I never told nobody this much of the story, bro. You getting real talk right now.
So I mean, but that's better than the shelter, you know?
Yeah. I'm sitting down. He like, whatever you can afford, you can stay here as long as possible. He point to a lazy boy, like there you go, there go your bed right there. I'm like, Jesus, every day I gotta go to church. Before I leave, you have church in the living room where I sleep at.
Oh,
mind you, it's like 2 chihuahuas, 2 cats, some type of woolly dog, 2 German shepherds.
Yeah, I don't know if that was better than the shelter.
Some other type of dog. Like it was 11, I counted them, like it was 11 dogs, bro. And 2 cats, right? And 12 people, right? Homeless people, other dudes sleep. He sleep on the couch over there. I sleep on the, what's the name right there? Somebody sleeping in the living. This is a big old house. It had plenty of rooms in the house, but it was so packed in there, right? 1 bathroom, right? Nasty too. It was nasty, bro. It was a nasty house, bro. So I'm like, man, like how I'm gonna get up out of this one? Like, what am I doing here? Meanwhile, y'all back in the Midwest doing y'all thing. I don't even want to, at this point, social media not really popping like that, so I can't really see what's going on. Like if I really dig down, I can see, but I'm trying not to even disconnect myself from anything that's going on, because I'm like, man, I done been through so much. Like, so I end up, falling back on my skills, cut. I go find a job. Check this out. So the next day, I'm like, okay, I'm about to go get out here and look for a job. So I find my way to this barbershop, and I got these crazy cutting skills. My man like, yeah, well, go ahead and show me what you could do. I cut him, shave him, give him the nasty part, all that. He like, yeah, you hired. Boom. They
Yeah,
paying
you had the
cash.
skills.
They paying cash. It's like it's me and another black dude working in an all-white barbershop, all white clients. But they coming and they spending. So I'm making money quick now. All of a sudden, like in like 3 weeks, I got like 2 stacks, right? So I'm getting up. I find it's another situation where I'm looking for places. Everybody like, no, nope. So I look on Craigslist, find this one spot, go to check it out. The man like, your background say you got a lot of stuff, like little stuff, you got a lot like little stuff going on, but we're gonna take a chance with you. We're gonna give you the place. Man, I'll go ahead and give him the money. I'm in there, and the rest is history with that. So all that led up to me getting to Charlotte and getting to that spot, and all that led up to me being in the jury business and being where I am today. Another journey, and right now today, being in Miami, in one of the hottest places, and nothing is guaranteed here. I'm here doing business today. I might not be here doing business next week. Who knows? Just because things are just so different in the market right now. You know what I mean? When it's for me now as a business owner, I know that when it's time to pack up and go, because business not going the same, I'm packing it up, because I would hate to lose everything trying to stick around and hold on to something that ain't working, versus just go ahead and move on and do what I got to do. So that's where we are now. So
right now you got 2 stores, right?
Yeah. So right now I have 2 stores, but the one store we had to move in Charlotte. So this is, I don't know if know if I have time to tell you this story.
No, it's all right.
It's crazy, brother. So with the epicenter, so I worked my way up. I spent 2 years outside in the kiosk, right? So I held on to that spot through
2 years in the
rain.
kiosk, y'all. Y'all hear this, man?
Yeah,
he spent
in the
2
kiosk,
years in the kiosk.
outside, and I spent 2 years,
Rain, sleet, hell or
snow, 3 summers, 2 winters, 2 falls, and so on and so forth, right? So, my toe is frostbitten now, because standing out there all winter long in the snow, people be walking past like, man, this dude crazy, bro. You crazy, bro. I wouldn't be over there. I'm like, man, I got something. I'm focused on something, because I know that these folks is watching me. They want to see how, because they don't trust me. You know what I mean? They don't trust me enough just to give me a spot and say, okay, you qualify for this storefront right here.
Man, you a
this is
different
how they
type of
playing the
dude,
game.
man. You a different type of dude. That's why I
You know what I'm
said
saying?
you the best like no one other, man.
This is how they playing the game. So, the one guy, he's selling the glasses. Wintertime coming, starting to get cold. He out. Oh, I'm out, man. I'm like, I'm still finna do it. The other brother he came selling. They let another person come sell jewelry right beside me. I'm like, cool, no problem, no sweat. Keep doing me, and I'm gonna see. He buy out sooner or later. He like, yeah, I'm out of here. He closed this little store down. So now it's just your boy out there. Now I done took over the sunglass spot, started selling sunglasses, right?
Dang.
Because he gone. So I'm like, I used to be low key. I wouldn't say jealous, but I used to be looking like, man, he over there popping them glasses. Like, ooh, and I can't sell no glasses or nothing. I'm like, man, he popping them glasses. So as soon as he left, I'm like, look, can I open that glasses spot? So now it's double the rent. So now I'm at almost $4,000 a month. But I started popping them glasses. I started ordering them glasses. Them things popping. I'm like, yeah, because I know he didn't have the styles that I know I needed to have. So I started getting those styles that was popping, right? And so it's popping. We're going through, CIAAs. We're going through All-Star Game. Not All-Star Game, but we're going through all these different events, concerts. I'm
Oh
popping.
yeah, and that's another thing. Glad you mentioned that because the epicenter is right across from the Spectrum Center where the
Yeah.
Charlotte Hornets play, right?
Yeah. So during this time, I'm making crazy connects. I'm meeting Mr. Whitfield, Michael Jordan brother, Michael Jordan moms. Like I'm meeting, all type of NBA players, all type of singers. All this is passing me by, and I got all those pictures. They passed me by, talking to me, seeing me doing my thing. So it came to the point to where we had got some new management, and they were like, we want to do away with the kiosks. We don't want that out there no more. That's starting to look tacky in their eyes. You feel? I always had it looking good, clean, crispy, but from their eyes, it was starting to look, they didn't like the way it was looking. So they're
Yeah.
like, okay, boom, we're gonna go ahead and let you do a temporary situation, month to month situation in one of the storefronts. So boom, that's how I made my way into a storefront on a temporary situation. I stayed in there for about 4.5 years, just up until recent. And what happened was, and we had, during that time, I had 2 riots that I went through. One riot, the last riot of George Floyd, peace to that brother and his family. They broke in my store, stole a lot of my jewelry and everything. The protesters, man, it was crazy. So I've been through all that, all type of different situations. So the corona virus and the COVID-19, that just, and this is what I tell
Back to
business
back.
owners. That's what I tell business owners about. You never know how things are gonna go, because that right
Yeah.
there, I used to be so busy making stacks. That thing turned all the way when the shutdown, after the shutdown was over, and I opened the business back up, and Charlotte was still in shutdown mode, and they started letting all the people work from home. Mind you, this is uptown Charlotte, the main area.
You need that traffic.
Man, when I say it turned into a ghost town, that vibrant area turned into a ghost town. And this center where I was in, where they had all these restaurants, Chipotle, Five Guys, BW3s, all these bars and restaurants. All you seen is they start to close one by one. Whoop, close, whoop, close, whoop, close. All the way until it was just me recently. And when I say recently, I'm talking like August. I just closed that store August. We're relocating now. From August, it was just me and another business there. So, this is what I'm saying when I tell you that you never know how business is gonna go. With that being said, we look forward for the new James Mack store uptown. It's coming real soon. We just finalizing some things with
Down in
space.
Charlotte.
Yeah, in Charlotte, North Carolina. We're in Miami, Florida right now, but in Charlotte, North Carolina, we're just finalizing the last things for that store, and it's going to be, that's going to be top of the line. So we're going from the Epic Time store to the James Mack Fine Jewelry store, and it's going to be nice. It's going to be real nice. So look forward to that 2023.
Let me ask too, because I know you know way more about jewelry than the average person, but like I guess basically you could say what the average person would want to, what they like.
And then I started to develop my skills and start to do customized pieces. I'm gonna take you back. I remember when I wanted to buy my first real gold chain for sale. That one chain was $150, and it was little gold chain. And I was scared to death to buy that chain. I'm like,
Oh
man,
yeah.
I'm gonna waste $150 because first of all, ain't nobody gonna want this little gold chain. And I'm like, man, so I bought it anyway. Okay, give me the little gold chain wholesale. I'm gonna see if I can sell it. As soon as I put the gold chain up there, somebody came and said, how much you want for that gold chain? I'm like, I want 300. So
Damn.
did it again. So did it
So
two
you
more
didn't even
times.
want to
So
buy that then. So I'm pretty sure I can imagine what type of chain that was. But you was like, I'm not about to spend no $150 on this. I know ain't nobody gonna buy this. And
right.
then you put it up there, same day selling.
Same. As soon as I put it up there, somebody asked me how much I
You a
want for
different
it. I
type of
told them
dude. You just a different
300.
type of dude.
They said, so give it to me. 300. I'm like, man, I called my man. I told him, send me 2 more of them little gold chains. You send me 2 more. I sold those for 300 a piece right away. Cause then it's like, okay, now people coming to the booth like, you ain't got no real stuff. I'm like, I got them. That's them 2 up there. They real gold. How much you want for them? 300. Oh, let me get one. Boom. Then I started putting pendants on it. Then I started buying 5 pieces, all the way up into, you know, when we got the storefront. Then I was able to put real gold merchandise in there, mix it in with some of the stainless steel, and had a jewelry store. You know, so we did that all the way up until the point where I was able to, you know, during the pandemic, I'm like, I got to make a move. I got to do something. So after the pandemic, that's when I was like, you know what? Let me diversify. Let me change my name. Let me change my store name to James Mack Fine Jewelry. Okay, and let me start to sell fine jewelry. Let me start to move my brand up, because for me personally, selling just hip hop chains wasn't working no more. Like, you know what I mean? And the crowd that I was starting to attract was not the crowd that I needed. See, one thing about our people, we would show other cultures so much love and help them grow their business.
Yep.
But I'm doing the same thing, and I get so much backlash from my people, and they needed so much more, but they were scared to invest in me, and still is at certain points, right? So I'm like,
And hold on, let me stop you there, because you just brought up a really good point, man, because I know since I heard you've been doing this, I've been trying to support as much as I can and promote you. But I know it's a big thing, like, you know, with you being a Black real jeweler, like real, I seen like you got the factory and you really making this stuff and it's real jewelry. But I know one of the biggest things that you run with is it real? Is it real? Is it real? Like, how do you handle that situation? Because, you know, like you don't go into Zales and all of the other big names and ask them, is it real? Like, how do you deal with that?
Man, that's been one of the hardest things, at least in Charlotte. I really haven't faced that type of love here in Miami. It's been a different type of love. And of course, everything in the store is real gold and everything. But in Charlotte, man, especially when I had the kiosk, man, that used to just hurt me so bad, because you're not even, my people wouldn't even give me, and I got love for my people, you know, Black people got me to where I'm at today. But, you know, a lot of them wouldn't even give me the time of day, brother.
But there
You know
go
what
to
I'm saying?
Solomon kiosk, and you know it's a done deal. Like,
Yeah, we'll go online and buy, you know, gold gods or something like that, stainless steel, you know, gold plated stainless steel. But you would come in my face like, no, I got just some gold god. And how can I argue with you like, bro, that's stainless steel? Like, what are you talking about? You know what I mean? But because you got it from gold gods, or because you went to this, you know, this particular Chinese person and got some silver jewelry, and you feel like it's all that. You know, we are a lot of times, and I hope that we're growing out of that. We're the biggest haters of our own people, bro. You know, so many people hated on me so bad. Oh, that's fake. Man, don't buy that. I'm talking about I'll be getting ready to sell somebody a piece and they homeboy run up. Man, don't buy that. Come on, bro, put that back. No, give him his money back. Like, bro, why is you hating like that? You know what I mean? Like, to the point to where I almost got in scuffles with people, because I'm so hurt. I'm so hurt because I'm trying to figure out, bro, why is you hating on me? Like, why would you do that? And you telling me you gonna take them over to a white-owned store, you gonna take them on to an Indian-owned store
so they
because you don't
telling you this in
believe
their face. Don't buy that from him. You
in
can
my
go.
face.
I'm gonna take
You know
you to
what I
what you
mean?
call it.
It's just pure jealousy and hate, and it's like, bro, why are you not supporting? You know, so you know, before we move on, my challenge to everybody is go. Let me see you continue to support Black business. I'm a Black jeweler, AJP, GIA certified. Come to me and get your merchandise. Search me out, find me. You know what I mean? Shout out to everybody that did do business with me and got plans to do business with me, because we could be just as big as Johnny Dang, Icebox, and all that. But guess what? The same support that y'all give them is the same support that we need. You don't ask them no questions about is that it? You take that money and you take it to their stores and you give it to them up front. You don't
And you
ask
take
them
their
no
word,
questions.
whatever they say and all of that, I mean, I don't know if they get it appraised after or how that really worked, but if they going into one of them stores, they're not asking questions except for, like the simple
Yeah,
stuff. But, like you, jeweler, the questions to ask. So they not asking the same questions that they would ask you with being a black jeweler.
exactly. So that's why to circle back, that's why I started, kind of going global and kind of just doing a new marketing thing where I'm just marketing to the world. I'm not
And
marketing to
rebranded your
straight to
whole
black.
thing. I like
You
I
know what
like
I
the
mean?
James Mack fine jewelry. It looked good. I like the elegance of it, and
Yeah.
I'll definitely wish you well on that for real.
And now I'm turning into a global brand. So that was part of me coming down here to Miami and getting that global exposure, so people around the world know who James Mack Fine Jewelry is. And now I'm starting to get bigger and bigger orders from people that believe in me, that really got
Mhm.
faith in me. Yeah, I may not have it sitting in the case like you can go to Icebox or something like that. They got it. I may not have it sitting there, but I can make it. We got skills
Right.
to do it right here in the house. So trust us with it. And unfortunately, some of my biggest clients have been white people. And I don't want to say unfortunately, I'm saying that because my own people still, and I'm not fake, like I said, I'm not seeing a lot of that down here because I'm not marketing directly to my own people. I'm kind of like on a global tip. I'm neutral at this point.
Mm-hmm.
But we're gonna see what happens when we open this new store in Charlotte. But it's still gonna be a neutral thing. So yes, now we focus more on custom wedding rings, custom pieces like that, because I don't have time to worry about if you got your money right and if you're ready to spend with me. You know what I mean? If you want to spend with
Mm-hmm.
me and I'm gonna do the job right, then I'm gonna market to you, and then we can do business. But if you don't have your money right, because I'm running into a lot of that with these rappers and stuff like that, they don't have the money to really pay for their pieces, but yet they want these big pieces, right? So you want to get mad at me because I tell you I need all the money up front. That makes you upset with me, right?
Mm.
That's because you don't have the money, right? Because
Mm.
if you had the money, you probably wouldn't even be shopping when you'll be with Johnny Dang or something like that, or somewhere like that. The first place people run with their money is to Johnny Dang.
And
That's
and
only
they
making
just
him
that's
richer.
just to say they did that. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
that's
It
only
ain't.
making him richer though. Black people have single-handedly made Johnny Dang 100 millionaire.
Yep.
Single-handedly, black people. And I tell
Yep.
all these guys when I see
And
them,
Paul Wall, I think. I think Paul Wall involved. Well, he was at some point.
yeah, I tell all these people single-handedly, y'all have made these people millionaires. So don't come to me, talking crazy or acting like I'm doing something wrong when I actually put all the money up front if I'm making you a piece. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because y'all single-handedly made them millionaires. Y'all single-handedly made Jacob the jeweler who he is. Y'all single-handedly made, all these Indian and Chinese, Asian, and Turkish and whatever culture they from, they ain't black. You know what I mean?
Now
But
let
they
let
get
me ask
all
you
their money from
because
black people.
now with you being in the industry, and I'm pretty sure you go to trade shows and a lot of other things that involve jewelers, is it a lot of black people in it?
Yeah,
Because maybe that got something to do with not trusting the
yeah.
black jeweler or whatever, because it's not enough or what?
Right, right. So I've been going to jury shows for the last 10 years. Uh, and I've been, except for the last year or two, I've been like the only black person at the show. Other black
No
people at the
way,
show,
dude.
they
No way.
cleaning up, they emptying the trash or they serving food. But single-handedly, from what I can see, and I've been going to the shows since 2000, I want to say 2010 in Las
In all
Vegas.
this time, you the only black person that's not cleaning, cooking, and doing the extra stuff.
That's correct. And
Wow.
if it is, it's maybe one other or two other black person that I see with my own eyes. So
Right, right,
everybody
because it's
know
a
me
big
because
place. Yeah.
everybody know me when I go to the shows now. Everybody know James. I walk through like a celebrity. Everybody, hey James, how you doing? They know me. They see me. I'd be surprised because I'm like, you know my name. You know, like, yeah, we've been seeing you come here. They know me.
Oh, they
I've been
know.
going for
They
the
know.
last 10 years. You know what I mean? So you know, I always make it a thing to dress really sharp when I go there. So they always, hey James, hey, how you doing? I'm like, man, it's crazy. You know what I mean? So yeah, just recently I've been seeing some black people. I'm like, okay, stop, say, hey, how y'all doing? You know, so they catching on little by little, but it's like we don't have no community, you know what I mean? And it's like only way we're gonna make a dent in this community is just like the Jewish people do, much respect to them, just like the Russian people do, just like the
The Asian people.
you know,
Yeah.
the Asian people do. They help themselves, right? They give one person credit, give another person credit, take care of this person, make something cheap for them, tell this person how to do this, tell them what to do here. It's when I approach the booths that it's like, oh no, this is we can give you 50% off this wholesale price. What do you mean 50% off the wholesale price? What do you mean 50% off the wholesale price?
Yeah, that don't even make sense.
You know what I mean? The wholesale price is that ain't even the wholesale price.
Right.
Like I
That
know
don't
what the
even.
real
I'm gonna give you
wholesale price is.
50% off of the wholesale price. Like
I know what
what?
the real wholesale price is, and that's not even the wholesale price. So now you just trying to get me, you know, if you can, because you think I'm really a consumer. You think I'm really here just to buy a couple chains
For yourself. Yep.
for myself. You see what I'm saying? Because you think I'm stupid, right? So that's what forced me to really get my diploma from GIA so that I can get, you know, now where I'm at now, it's like, okay, put some respect on my name. When I come by my jury, now I got to show you my diploma for you to straighten up and tighten up and put some respect on my name. Because you know I know what I'm talking about. And that's the level I had to get to. I'm like, you know what? I got to go to school for this jury. So I'm a real jeweler, certified, got an AJP, Associated Jury Professional Diploma from GIA.
Okay.
And
Let me
that's the way we're doing it.
So now you know the struggles with being the only black man with coming from the watches with the different bands all the way up to the stainless jewelry up until doing it at the level that you are doing it now, and all of those struggles. Why would I want to be a jeweler? You know what I mean? Like if I got interest in doing this, what kind of advice would you give me? Like why would I want to do it knowing that you go through those type of struggles?
Yeah, well, first of all, I'm spearheading it and trying to make it easier for you. I'm creating courses, I'm creating classes so you can get the inside scoop and the inside prices so you know what you're talking about. Jewelry been sold from the beginning of time. We were the first people in the world to sell jewelry. We were the first people in the world to make jewelry. You see what I'm saying? Africans. You see, so we're only returning back to where we started anyway. Before the Jewish people sold jewelry, the Egyptians and the Africans were selling and wearing jewelry. Emeralds was first discovered in Egypt. You see what I'm saying? So people was wearing emeralds, rubies, all these type of things, gold. They was spearheading gold, doing things with gold that we're yet to rediscover. They were doing things with gold that we're yet to rediscover, right? So we're only coming into our lineage and what we're supposed to be doing anyway.
Big fact.
Secondly, you know, if you have to have a passion for luxury things, and everybody don't have a passion for luxury things. Everybody don't have a passion for a luxury lifestyle. You know, I know plenty of people that's just fine doing what they doing. I know people that'll tell me right now they ain't got to have
I'm
all
one of
that.
them. That's why I got this right here.
I know plenty of people that'll tell me right now they don't have to have all that. They just want to live a regular life. And I can't argue with that. I can't convince them that, you know, chasing $1 million or chasing $1 billion or trying to live some luxurious lifestyle is for them, because it probably ain't. But it's for me because I'm a king, and I've always knew that I was supposed to have more, bro. I living in the hood and growing up in the hood and, you know, struggling. I don't want that for myself. I don't want that for my family. You know, so many nights I had to shed tears in the dark because I couldn't provide for my people. I couldn't do nothing. I couldn't make no moves. You know, I'm still running after chasing my goals. It's far from over. It's far from even, I'm nowhere near where I'm supposed to be. You know, the
Mm.
harder I work, the harder it seems like it is. And that's just the
Man, it
bottom
get
line.
harder, don't it? It get harder the harder
You
you
know what I
work.
mean?
For
So,
real.
you know, it's a constant journey. But, you know, I met a guy here in Charlotte, I mean, here in Miami. He owned a whole building. He owned a whole building. And I ain't talking about no small building. I'm talking about a huge building that he's renovating to make it a new jewelry mall, right? A mall full of jewelry stores and jewelers. And
Mm.
he told me, he gave me a one-on-one. He was like, young man, he a Jewish person, I believe. He told me that he started off in New York selling shoes, clothes, watches, all that. Moved up to selling real estate, jumped back into selling clothes, cars, luxury cars, yachts. This man just spent $52 million renovating a building. And he only one person, right? And he only like 60 something years old. So when I thought about that, I'm like, I just got started.
Mm.
I got over 20 years in business, but I'm just a baby in the business because if I can stay healthy and stay focused, just imagine where we could be.
Yes,
So
sir.
it don't never stop. You see what I'm saying? So when I look at something like that, I'm like, man, he went through all that hustling, and now he still juggling millions, but he's still struggling, hustling, trying to renovate multi-million dollar businesses.
Because
But
it
that's
don't
the level
stop.
he at, though.
It don't stop. It don't stop, man.
That's the
Like
level
you
he
said
at.
earlier, if you want, everybody don't want the millions and the billions and all of that. I definitely want the millions and the billions and all of that. But like you said, man, I'm a small fry, man. And you know, when we was doing what we did back then with the shoe store and all of that, like you know, where we from, like you know, doing stuff like that, you the man. Like so, you don't even really have to level up, and you know, because it'll make you feel good. Like you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying. So, like for people like us that's willing to move around and start over and you know just do and I'm not suggesting everybody start over, but sometimes you have to get out of that comfort zone in
yeah,
order to be able to level up, man, because it's that comfort zone is worse, man, because it's addictive. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
you around the same people all of the time. You get that simple fame, that the simple things that make you feel good. And but like you know in the back of your head, you really, really want more, man. So what's
right.
some of the resources and books, mentoring, anything? I know you covered a lot of this, but I just want to ask you
Yeah,
specifically, what's some of the resources and books, mentoring? What's something that helped you get to that mindset of, you know, just keep growing instead of just settling and being complacent with the income and the lifestyle that you already have?
right, right. You know, first of all, I wanna say this right here. Well, maybe I'll say that later. I'm gonna go to this. I'm gonna go to this. But first of all, some of the books I've been reading and studying. You know, one of them was The Millionaire Next Door. You know, that's a
Mm,
real good book right
I
there.
love
People
that
need
one.
to go read that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And you know, another one that I'm trying to get my mind around right now is the 4 Hour Work Week. You feel what
Got
I'm
that right
saying?
behind me.
So that's a
We the
crazy
same.
book. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to, that's the level I need to be at, is autonomous. You know what I'm saying? I'm tired of actually working for my businesses, because I'm not a business owner right now. I'm a
Self-employed.
self-employed. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm really struggling trying to change this thing around because I don't have no free time. I still to
Mm-hmm.
this day don't have no free time because I'm not making enough money to pay a whole staff.
To
And a
employ
lot of
somebody.
times, people that is paying a whole staff and they not making enough money, they not gonna be in business long. I promise you that.
Yep. Yep.
But it's a balance. Of course, on the vicious game side of it, 48 laws of power. You know what I mean? That's to really
Mm.
get your strategies together. And things of that nature. So I read books like that. I play chess. You know, one of the hometown heroes that I look up to is Ken Ivey. And he
Mm-hmm.
has a book called Human Chess. You feel me? So that's a real good book right there.
I'm gonna have to check that out.
Yeah, you got to have a little bit of street smarts with a little bit of book smarts. You feel? So that book to me kind of like mixed both of them in it. It's a little gritty, but it kind of puts you at a level to where you like, yeah, okay, you know, I see what's happening. You know, you got to make a name for yourself out here. You got to, you know, you got to do certain things. It's another book by Russell Simmons that I read, The 50th Law. That's a good book that I love, that I read, and I go back to that by 50 Cent. What's the name? Green.
Yeah. I'm gonna give you one too. The Power of Broke, Damon John, man. That book, it really just make you understand that money don't do everything that you think it will versus being broke. And I wish I could like quote and break it down like that, but it's definitely a good read. You know what I'm saying? Especially coming from a person, you know, with money. And Damon John, the guy from Shark Tank and all of that. But The Power of Broke, man, you should definitely check that one out. I can't hear you. Can you hear me? I can't hear you. Nope.
Okay, you hear me now?
Yeah.
I think my little equipment sorted out.
Hey man, you already know how I did it at the beginning of the show. It took about an hour to get it together.
Yeah.
But I was saying, Damon John, that Power of Broke is a real
The Power
good
of Broke. So I used to watch that. I used to read that Power of Broke, you know, in an audio book, going back and forth from business trips. And you know, some of the stuff that he, you know, put in my mind about having investors, you know, and how that takes a lot of your creative power away, and how we started out, you know, with FUBU and flopped a couple of times, and you know, got LL Cool J to get on board, and that kind of blew him up. And used to do the driving vans, and you know,
it's basically saying you got to keep that hustle in you. You know what I'm saying? You got to keep that.
Stay hustling.
Yeah, you got to stay hungry.
Never stop.
That's basically what it's about. You got to stay hungry.
Yeah. So and that's really what I'm on right now, man. I'm not stopping. I'm keeping going. You know, because you know, when one door closed, another one open. You know, and we must remember that. And one thing else I want to say is that, yes, it's true. African Americans have less working capital than we need. We don't have the working capital to really do the jobs we need to do.
Yep.
Hold on, let me let that phone finish ringing.
Yep.
I'm gonna give you some bars now. I'm gonna give you some bars now.
And then after this, I'm gonna hit you with, it's a triple threat part. That's where we I ask you 3 fast questions and you just answer them real fast. That's it.
I got you. As soon as the phone stop ringing.
I'm gonna keep that in there too.
Okay. Yeah, for sure. So you know, as businesses, especially African American businesses, we never really have the income we need to properly run the business. Nope. So even like right now, I don't have enough money to really run the business the way I'm supposed to. But guess what? I don't let that stop me from trying my best. I've had people come to me, even down here in Miami, I've had people come to me and actually tell me I need to shut my business down. Literally tell me, like, you need to shut this down because you don't got enough money. What? You don't have enough money. You don't have enough jewelry. You don't have big enough jewelry. You don't have enough. You know, this is what people then told me. And I'm like, you know what? I got God. That's what I do, God. That's my
Mm.
capital. You
Yes,
feel what I'm
sir.
saying?
Yes,
If
sir.
it don't work out, it'll work out. But I don't never let, even when I apply for this spot, I ain't have enough money to get it. To
Mm.
have enough jury to fill it up, you know. But
Mm.
I never let that stop me from putting my mind and my energy towards what I'm gonna do. Because every time in my life that I'm like, I don't care if it don't look right, if I don't got nowhere to stay, if I don't got this, if it ain't coming together, I still go forward. I never
Dude,
let
this
myself feel
I
like,
know you personally, but just listening to this interview, it's a whole different side. And you know, you got the way you think and the way you persistent, the way that you push, the way that you just don't stop, and the way you look at things, man, got you where you at, and you is got a very, very bright future. I wish I had a bell. I would definitely ring it for you, man, because you is like, I hope
yeah,
people really take this in and learn something from you, man, because you very inspirational, man. But go ahead, I
yeah.
want you to finish.
And I was outside in the wintertime selling jewelry, and uh, Michael Jordan brother came past, and I knew who he was, but I never, as many times I didn't talk to him, as many times I see him, I never told him like, I know you Michael Jordan brother, right? You know what I mean?
Mm,
I know exactly who he is, everything, but I never wanted to put him on blast like that and make it seem like, you know what I mean, that I was talking to him just because he was Michael Jordan brother.
let them feel
I,
normal too. Yeah.
yeah, he loved me for that, right? I was just like, hey, sir, how you doing? You know, never said that. I had a guy standing next to me one time. He was like, hey, Michael Jordan, brother. And I just like ignored him. I looked the other way, like I ain't know what he talking about. He looked back and he was like, you know, like, why you put me on blast like that, bro? Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
He a low-key brother. If you don't know how he look, bro, you would never know that's Michael Jordan, brother, walking
Mm-hmm.
around in Charlotte. So one day, I'm like, hey, sir, how you doing? Everything good? And he's like, yeah, man, what's going on? I'm like, I just need a book, something. I need something to keep me going. He's like, you know what? I like you. Check this out. I want you to read this book that somebody, a guy that trained my brother. He never said his name yet, but obviously I know what he's talking about, right? So I'm like, oh, for real, your brother? Okay. You know, playing dumb, right? You know what I'm saying? And I ain't doing nothing shiesty or, you know, trying to put no move or nothing. I just ain't putting him on blast. And he don't
Yeah.
want his business all out there. So I'm like, for real?
Yeah.
So he's like, yeah, this book by Tim Grover called Built to Last. You feel me? And
Mm.
that's a book I want y'all to go get by Tim Grover called Built to Last, right?
Gotta write
And
that
that
down.
book talk about like champions, like it's mainly about Jordan, but it's about Kobe and all the people he trained that have that fire that got to get it. And I always
Mm.
had that fire, boy. I got to get it, no matter how bleak it is, no matter how many times I got to start over. I may have to start over right now. Things are getting too expensive. I'm like, man, I might have to move I might start over again. It's okay. It's all right because I'm not judged. I'm not judged by nobody. I don't care what nobody think because I'm still doing positive things. I'm still succeeding. I'm still growing. I'm still moving. So what I feel like personally is my failures. A lot of people won't never be their successes. You
No,
know what I'm
not at
saying?
all. Not at all. Yep.
So built to last, man, is about keeping going and always thinking about the next plan. Even when you think you're successful, I'm always, like you said, when them champions win, they already Kobe them all RIP Kobe already thinking about next year and thinking about preseason. When they
Mm.
winning the championship, he trying to figure out when they're gonna start practice again for preseason.
Mm.
You feel what I'm saying? Like you
I'm
got to be
reading
a
that one.
different type of animal and beast. Like you can't give up. I don't give up. You know, and a lot of people say that I'm too hard and I go too hard because they can't keep up. I done have family members and stuff tell me like you just different. Like I can't keep up with you. Like I can't do what you do.
Man,
Cause I'm
I hear
like,
that
get up,
so
let's go.
much.
Come on, let's ride.
Mm, mm, mm. You know what? I think when people feel like that and when they say stuff like you working too hard or you need to take a break and all, they just they know they can't keep up. Like, so, like, why not try to bring you down You know what I'm saying? To
Yeah,
make them feel comfortable. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
like no, like come on, let's go, let's make this happen. You know what I mean? Like,
And
come
I'm gonna
on,
be
it's not
honest.
hard.
I'm gonna be honest. For the first time in my life, this last year, from last November to this year, November right now, since I had this store in Miami, I had this store for 1 year on November 10th. I truly feel right now that I'm working too hard. Like I've been working every day for one whole year from
Mm,
10 a.m. to 10 at night.
mm.
Every single day. Every day, bro. Except for holidays.
That's
So
why I
I'm like,
said, boy, you the best. You like none other, boy.
you know what I mean? I'm like, I'm
I
working
don't know if
now.
I
I'm
would have
like,
did
I'm
that.
working too hard. I'm working
Yeah.
too hard because I'm not really, something. And this is what I want to tell people too. Also, when you going hard like that and you really going hard, you trying your best, and you think that ain't nobody watching and don't nobody care, it's always somebody watching.
Yep.
It's always somebody peeping you. It may not
Yep.
be somebody that's going to invest in you, but people come to me every day and be like, man, somebody just came to me today before I got ready to do this interview. Brother was like, bro, at first when I seen you in there, I was like, man, he working for some white dude. Then he was like, man, I found out that was your shop. Then I was like, man, that brother doing it. But then I
Mm.
seen you in here every day, bro. And I'm like, man, that dude go hard. And that made me go hard. And I'm like,
Yep.
and he like, man,
Yep.
thank you, bro, because I've been going hard because every time I turn the corner, I see you in there going hard. And I'm like,
Yep.
man, that's what I do. Like, and Lord knows when I really get that opportunity, when I really get that lane to where my hardness equal my money, oh man, you know what I'm saying? Oh wow.
Man, I
Because right
already
now,
know.
I haven't, by the grace of God, it's only blessings, but I haven't really. I've been building up some muscle, some grit, but I haven't really been getting paid. I haven't really seen the fruits of my labor, and I've
Mm,
been working for myself the whole time. Right? Only had
mm.
one job. Only had one job. And then let me go back though. Let me just go back, and I'm gonna let you, say your next thing. But even when I
Mm.
lost the one job, when they fired me, and this is what I wanted to say. When they fired me, I turned around and I was looking for a job. And guess what job I ended up getting, bro? The next
What?
day when they fired me and I paid the rent before we lost the apartment, guess what job was like, yeah, you can come right away.
What?
Domino's Pizza, bro.
Domino.
Domino's Pizza. So I done went from a boss all the way down to working at Domino's Pizza delivery job, right? And
Mm.
at that time, bro, I'm like, that was the best thing ever that could happen to me because I'm like, man, now first of all, I got a job right away. I'm like, cool. Then it was delivery job, right? But
Tips.
then I'm making a little couple hundred a night. I'm starting to get on my feet, but then at the same
Yep.
time, I was so grateful for that because I didn't been humbled all the way down to putting on a Domino's uniform, coming up to your door, ringing your doorbell. But people still could see something in me, bro. People still like, oh, well, hold on once. Going to give me $10, $5,
Mm.
$15, $20.
Mm.
Like here, you work here? Like, yeah, things just hard right now. Here, take that. You know what I mean? I'm pulling up in
Yep.
Lexus on rims. Lexus on rims with a Domino's Pizza sign on top of my joint. And they like, wow, you got such a nice car. You like, you work here? Like,
They confused. Like, what's going on?
things hard. Like, like I went through it. I'm going through a tough time, but here go your pizza. Like, here,
Mm-hmm.
wait, hold on. They about to give me $3. They run back, go get 10 more. Like, here, you know what I mean? So, whatever you do, whatever you got to do, try your best and be your best at it.
Do
If
it.
you got to go work at Domino's Pizza, if you might see me at Amazon or something, who knows? I might have to go do Amazon just to keep the lights on, just to keep bills paid or whatever, because you're never
Real.
too big.
I do Uber in the morning.
Exactly.
For
You're
real.
never
6 to
too
10.
big.
I'm doing Uber for real.
You're never too big.
For real.
So, we have to remember that, whatever we got to do as men to feed our family, we know we understaffed. We know we underpaid. We know
Yep.
we don't have enough money to run our business. We underfunded. I'm underfunded right now. You underfunded. You don't
Yes.
have enough money to run your business, but we
Yes.
still got to run the business,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
We don't have enough money to
Still
market, so we
gotta
have to.
advertise. You still gotta
You still got
prospect.
to
You know
do
what I
it.
mean? You still gotta put in the work,
Yeah,
the actual work. You gotta do the books. We wearing every hat. I mean, and people don't understand that, man. And it's just it's overwhelming, but it's rewarding. Like, and I think that's what keep me going because
yeah,
like with having a regular job, you know, I know this is all I have to do. Like, and I'm
yeah,
used to having a big plate, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
so, and I mean, now it's gonna be different once the money get to coming in and I get to hire because
Right.
wearing one main hat and I'm basically managing, you know, or overseeing the whole company. But
Yeah.
you know, it's levels to it, man. But
It's
you
levels
know,
to it.
whatever you got to do, y'all do it. I mean, you hearing
Do it.
James' whole spiel, man. Like this
Yeah.
is real stories, man.
It's real
This is real
stories.
stories, man. So
Yeah.
don't give up. Like if you gotta work, if you gotta don't let the internet and everybody tell you that working the
Yeah.
job is lame and all of that, man. Because come on, man. Everybody starts somewhere. The richest people got a story, man. Come on,
Yeah.
man.
And it ain't nothing like stable income. You know, that's one thing. If
Exactly.
you're trying to do real estate, you got to have some stable income. You know, you're not going to buy
Exactly.
no house with no unstable income. Once they
Exactly.
underwrite it and see your income is all over the place, you're not getting approved for no house.
Yes,
So, you know, which,
like people think because I'm in real estate that I'm rich because I own a few properties, I'm rich. No, like, I mean, I got a little equity, but at the same time, like I'm trying to build up a portfolio. If you don't have 50 to 100 150 cribs, bringing in you in $200-300 profit after all expenses, you're really not doing too much. Like, you know, except but for equity, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it's definitely a great investment for long term. Even
right.
flipping a house, it comes with a headache. It's not easy. You know, it's just a process. Like owning a business. Just because you got a business don't mean you rich. Like, and people
Right.
got that whole perception of these titles mixed up. You know what I mean? And I'm
Yeah.
glad that we doing this. But I want to wrap this up, man. But what I
I
want to
want to say
do,
one thing before you wrap
oh,
this up.
let's do it. Let's do it.
I want to say, and you might have to clip this because this is gonna be crazy what I'm about to say.
No, we keeping it. We keeping
I
it.
want to I want to say Kanye West, you owe us, bro.
Mm.
Kanye West, you are our bank, bro. When we can't go to
Ooh.
these banks, bro, you a billionaire, bro. We need to borrow money. You need to fund our businesses, bro, because you are our hope,
Mm.
brother. If the Jewish people do what they do and hold their communities up, bro, it's your
They
burden to
borrow
hold
into
us
their
up, bro.
communities. Yep. Yep.
It's your burden to hold us up, bro. You are our bank, bro. We need to borrow money from you, bro. We ain't talking about
Mm.
no crazy amounts of money. I need 100,000 from you, bro, so I can continue doing this jury business and you could be my partner. Kanye West, you are our bank, brother.
Ooh. Ooh. Yay. You hear it. You hear it, yay. Like I know that you know a whole bunch of other rich people that feel the way you feel that didn't speak out the way you did. You know what I'm saying? But I understand what you were saying. Even if the delivery of people agree with it or not, the Jewish people stick with their people. They lend to their people, and they that's how it's done. I mean, of course, you on a whole nother level, and I'm talking to Ye. You're on a whole nother level that we don't know yet, but we do know the basics, you know, just from history and doing research, man. And like my brother said, man, if you could lend a hand, come out, not ask for no handouts. We asking for partnerships and things to help grow the community like you putting out there, man, because we definitely need people like you and other people, man. So, I mean, you got anything else to drop on them before I hit you with the triple threat?
Hey, all I want to say is keep your mustard seed of faith in God. And when you
Mm.
think that it's not going to work out, it is working out.
Mm. Mm. Wow. I mean, that's well said, man. But on this segment right here, this is where we wrap it up. What we do is the triple threat, and we kind of do like some fast speed questions, just trying to catch you off guard so you can give us some fast response and give the people some real raw information. And the first question is, what keep you motivated?
God.
Okay.
And
Uh,
and looking at my brothers that's sleeping on the ground, and my brothers that's walking around with mental illnesses, and my sisters with mental illnesses. That's what keep me motivated.
That's a whole nother subject, brother. But let
Yeah.
me keep going because I can go deep on that. But all right, where do you see your business in 10 years?
In 10 years, I see myself as a futuristic billionaire that have I definitely want to take my business to the next level so I can start to do some humanity work and help my people with the mental illness and stuff. So in 10 years, I see myself having futuristic products that's doing things that you wouldn't even imagine right now, made ways you couldn't even imagine, killing the market, crushing the jury game with new innovative products, but also those proceeds building communities for the homeless and having new therapies and new treatment for people with mental illness in 10 years.
Wow, I'm gonna touch on that after this last one. And this last one is really simple. It's just, how can the people reach you?
You can go
and what do you have to offer?
Okay, cool. So I got so first of all, if you want to get into the jewelry business and you tired of looking at all the other cultures celebrating off of our fruits, then I've created a class to show you the basics, to how to go from 0 to 100,000 over 6 figures in the jewelry business. So you can go to prosperwithjamesmack.com. And we have classes there. It's only $189 right now, man. You're getting like over 80,000 worth of game. Everything I done been through, everything I learned thus far, I put it in, packaged it all up, and gave it to you. I will give it for free, but I mean, can I get some donations? I'm still in the business. We still trying to do it. I paid for it. I paid for classes. I learned the hard way. I got burnt. I got played. And now I'm giving you some gems to where you don't have to go through that. It's only $189. You go buy a pair of Jordans for $225, and you can't do nothing but wear them on your feet.
Ain't getting nothing out
But
of
this you can play over and over again and utilize it to help you make money. And for $99, you can go ahead and get the 1 hour, which I'm gonna give you more than 1 hour, but that's just what we got to set out for. The 1 hour mentorship, coaching, to where any business that I've been doing business, legit 100% business since 2000, before 2004, but since 2004 I've been doing business, legit business. And I'm a legit business owner. So I can tell you, what has worked for me thus far. I've made millions over my career. I don't have millions stacked up, but once again, I've been underfunded my whole career. So I haven't really had enough money to do business properly. So I just been, doing business on a shoestring budget, as they say. But, I can help you do business on the shoestring budget, or if you want to utilize your credit, and I can show you how to utilize that to, work credit cards and stuff like that, or get grants or whatever the case may be. We can go through all of that. I don't care if it's 3 hours. I'm gonna give you what I'm gonna give you, because that's just the type of person I am. You can find me at James Mack Miami on Instagram, or Epic Times Jewelry Store on Instagram, or you can contact me at jamesmackdesigns.com. At gmail.com, or you can just give me a call. If you go to at James Mack Miami on Instagram, my number is on there. Hit me up. Let's do something. Let's work together. You want to help me with the influencer thing? I can help pay you. Whatever the case may be, let's buy, let's create some jewelry stores, let's help the homeless, let's help the mentally ill. Whatever you want to do, I'm with it. We are the next leaders of tomorrow.
Man, look, wow. Okay, that triple threat, you just killed that. But I got to go back before I let you go on the, like you said, with the homeless and the mental illness and stuff. Now, I'm not trying to get too in depth with it.
Go say what you got to say, brother. God on your heart.
I really wanted to shout out, because I know you said you want to develop some programs and stuff like that. And me and you definitely got some real issues in our families that, that brought us to even think like this, and then seeing, it in our community firsthand. But I wanted to shout out Megan Thee Stallion, because she got a thing. I wish I knew the name of it, and I should have knew that we was even going to touch on this, but she got a thing that's helping people get therapy and through mental illness and stuff like that. So you know what I'm saying? I wish I knew what it was, but look up Meg Thee Stallion mental health or therapy or something like that. Just Google whatever. I'm talking to the people.
Yeah.
If you need some help in something, you got some mental problems, you just having an issue that you just can't figure out how to get over it, man. Talking to somebody is nothing wrong with that. So talk to people if you can. And if you can't, just try to look out and just help somebody else, because that always make you feel better at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? So look, man, it was great having you on this show, man. I wish I had more time, but I know we gonna do the ping pong thing. So I'm definitely gonna be on your show,
That's
and
right.
I'm gonna get you back on my show. But
Yeah.
what's most important, man, is you is a great dude. Like I said, I'm gonna get a bell and I'm gonna start ringing it because I want to give everybody their flowers while they living. And man, like you definitely a great dude. You taught me how to do business and just to have that. I mean, of course, I've been a hustler, got it in me and all of that, but you are the only person that literally showed that it's other things than the streets. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because, and what I learned from that situation is if you could hustle in the streets, it's just a hustle. So if you're a hustler, you can do anything. You could
Right.
sell anything. You could do anything, man. And you know, your presence definitely helped get me to thinking the way I think, man, because it just don't stop. My brain just don't turn off. I be trying to
Yeah.
just ease it down and not think business and all that, but I just can't, man. It's just
Right.
that's how it is, man. So I'm pretty sure you had the same problem because we just want to grow and we want it so bad. But being underfunded, being pretty much a one-man show, it makes it a lot harder. But you know, it's just gonna be a better story and a better
Yeah.
show in another 10 years, man.
I want to
So
say
James
one
Mack,
thing before you
oh,
close it out, though. I want to give you some flowers, right?
okay.
Because you know, one thing I can say about you, brother, is I got a lot of homeboys, and of course you one of them. You know what I'm saying? But you are one of the ones. You're one of the ones that actually took me serious. When I told you,
Mm,
bro, this is what we getting ready to do, you showed up, bro, every time.
mm.
And I said, bro, this is what we getting ready to do. You was there, you showed up, you came, you put your all into it, and that's why we flourished the way we did. And that's why I still, you know what I'm saying, we still do this to the day right now, because bro, you still, you know, hear me out and you take it serious, bro. And you know,
Yeah,
the
man.
YouTube is just the beginning of many things. So, you know, you've been doing crazy things, you know, making a lot of moves on your own. You know, of course, you took it from there and
Of
just took
course, of
off,
course.
you know, and I see you, you know, we getting ready to, you know, both do our, you know, take the YouTube thing serious. So I see you, bro. You doing great. Keep doing your thing. You know what I'm saying? And you know, we checking you out, bro.
Hey, man, let's grow together, man.
Yeah,
Look, hey, people, I hope y'all learned something from this. Rewind it, rewind it, rewind it, because this is a lot of good knowledge content, man. And we're going to keep coming with this from a lot of people with a lot of different experiences. But this was really special to me. That's why I brought them in as the first one. And I know that y'all was going to take this very, it's value in this interview. So, like I said, just rewind it, do what you got to do. But we got to get the word out, man, because we have to grow. Subscribe, share, comment. If it's anything that you want to know about this whole conversation, please comment. I'm gonna leave a link in the description about all of James Mack's whatever he wants y'all to know and whatever that he needs y'all to connect with him. We're gonna put that in the description. So other than that, y'all, please have a blessed day. James Mack, thank you again, and welcome to the Flip to Hold podcast,
yeah.
where we flip to gain capital and buy assets to hold, baby. Let's go.